Okay, hello everybody. This is Nabil Halim. I just passed the TOEFL with a passing score 103 for my pharmacy license, and I got 24 in the reading, 25 in the listening, and 28 on the speaking. Finally, 25 or 26, I guess, in the writing. So I'll tell you what did I do, and I hope everybody would pass very soon. So the first part is the reading. It's like the second of the hardest parts in the TOEFL. First one would be for sure speaking, because pharmacy would ask you to pass with a very high score, which is 26 in the speaking. And for the reading, it should be 22, and for the listening, 21, and finally writing 24. That's according to the map. And if you want to go to lower score, you can go with Florida. I know that they accept, I guess, 21 in the reading, and they do accept the best score. So you can check their website. I guess Florida Health something. So anyway, I will tell you about my experience. I passed the TOEFL after uh, more than 30 times that I took the test. It shouldn't be hard like that, but I'll tell you my story. So my story is I'm the old system, which is you first pass the FPGE and then you go to pass that TOEFL. So they give you like 5 years after FPGE to pass the TOEFL. Right now they changed the system, so first you have to go through the TOEFL and then finish and go to the FPGE, and it's once per year, I guess in October. So for the 5 years, I didn't do much in the first 4 years. You would say that it's not logic, but that happens when people live in USA. They don't have time. You have to work, work, work. So anyway, the first 4 years, I just took the TOEFL for 7 times, I guess, 7 times. So one of the years I didn't take it at all, and one of other years I took like twice, once, 3 times, something like that. And I felt like, oh, I'm in like urge to take it because I didn't have much time. So this year it's supposed to expire my whole process. It would expire in 1st of October, but thank God I was able to pass like before 2 weeks out of my expiration time. So this is my whole story. Yeah, I took about more than 27 or 20 something. Yeah, 27 tests this year. So you can expect that every other week or every week. And I had the problem to just like lose 1 point in reading, 1 point in the speaking. So I'll tell you my whole experience that it might help you to decide what you're going to do, and hopefully it will help you. So first part, it should be the reading part. Reading part is very hard because according to your mother language, if you don't practice English that much, you wouldn't read. So the problem is that we all, even if you come with a scientific background, you only read something that is scientific, but you don't read literature. So your comprehension will be very low, which is the understanding. So you can read and then you'd see, you'd say, what's the meaning of that? And you have to reread it again, and the time wouldn't let you do that. So you have to practice reading at least every day until you get like bunch numbers of words and build up your vocabulary, and then you will be good to go. So what advice I would tell you, just read every day at least one academic text. So don't just read like books, just read academic texts. You will see like there are a couple of links for TPOs, and just read like National Geographic, their website, they have academic texts, so it will help you. So first, comprehension, build your vocabulary and increase your comprehension by reading a lot. And based on my readings, and searching from different tutors and different websites, I found something that it might help you. So first read first the topic, and then the first line in every paragraph, especially the first paragraph, because it tells you the whole story, and then go quickly to the questions. So read the questions. You don't have to read the whole paragraph because you might get a lot of information that is not useful for you, even though you might be interested in some of the topics is related to scientific topics or whatever you think, but don't read the whole paragraph. Don't waste your time. It's two passages, and it will get to about 36 minutes, and you have to do something really important called time management. So when I go to the test, I used to write 35, 27, 18, 9. So every 5 questions, I do like approximately 9 minutes. So I started with 35 because I would read 1 minute, the first line for each paragraph. So 35, that's my starting, and then 27, that's when I finish 5 questions. So I monitor myself. It's really important because sometimes you don't have time to finish. So it's really important to follow time management. Every 5 questions, 9 minutes, and you finish the two passages. It's really important to encourage yourself because it's really very bad or very stupid, I would say, that you'd be your biggest enemy. So you'd say to yourself, how did I do that? So you would lose points or lose focus. So you wouldn't be able to answer next question with full power because you'd say to yourself that you're not confident or you're not competent to do this test. So try to do each section as this is your last exam. So that's really helpful. And and if you did a lot of reading, you would know which question that you lose focus or you don't answer well. So just go to this question and try it as many times until you find how can you answer correctly. One of the strategies that really helped me is the eliminating strategy. So don't choose the right answer, just eliminate because you have four choose answers, and you have to eliminate three of them till you find the right one. Even though you might say it's not logic, but if you eliminated the most three questions that you are sure that it's not right, mostly it's the last answer. So it's really important to do this with the reading, because reading is all about comprehension, and comprehension is built by reading a lot and building your vocabulary as well. So this is about the reading section. For the listening part, most of the students or the people who take the test would pass it easily, but not from the first time because we have to practice, as I said, because we are foreigners and this is not like mother tongue language. So you have first when you listen to like American language, you'd say, I need to stop it and read it again, and it shouldn't be easy the first time, but after like several times, you get what they're saying. And it's really important to get notes of what you're listening, because if you're like me, if you tell me something and then after 10 minutes, if you ask me about the same thing, not 10 minutes, like 2 minutes, I would totally forget it. So it's really important to write notes. And notes is notes. I mean, you shouldn't write the whole paragraph. So if they're saying like the professor is talking about something, this is like 4 words. You shouldn't write the whole sentence. You can say the professor says, that's it. Or you can do abbreviations like P, or researchers R, students S. So you would know your abbreviations that you'd like to use in order to shrink your notes. And it's really important also to do something called like when the lecture starts in the listening part, which is about, I guess, 15 to 20 minutes. I can't remember. But it's like about 6 questions, 6 sets. Um, you'd hear the professors talking to the student, or the student goes to the librarian, and it's like chunks. There's a main reason, and then the person tells the student something, and then the student will tell him another thing. So try to make points. When you make these points, when you get the questions, you'd find that it's like falling like point one, point two, point three, and if you have like lines between every point, it will be easier for you to answer. I would say that the notes is not important for you to answer, but at least you'd remember, because you just listen and write something. It's really important. When you do two things, the information would stick to your mind until you listen to the answers, I mean to the questions. So you listen to the part of listening, and then you get few questions, and you'd have to answer from the questions, and there's no go back. So if you did number one or two, you can go back to number one. In the listening part, it's not prohibited, or yeah, it's not permitted. But in the reading, you can go back if you have time. So that's happens with the listening part. It's really important to try to take notes, because it will help you in the other two sections, which is the speaking and the writing. So listening part should be easy. You just have to practice taking notes, and it's maybe it will be hard in the beginning, but you will get it. So let's go to section 3, the main one, the main important, or the hardest one, speaking section. For passing TOEFL speaking section, you have to get 26, which is like almost 8.5 or 9 over 10, which is very hard. So you have to take care of a few things. Your intonation, as you can see, I'm not talking like with monotone. You'd see that sometimes I would say, oh, that's really important, something like this. So intonation is really important. Don't talk like a monotone. It's important to add adverbs like ly, firstly, um, transition words, moreover, however. So these things would improve your vocabulary in terms of maybe vocabulary or grammatic complexity. It's also important to put more than simple sentences, like instead of just saying John used to play, you have to do like and or because, or just make two simple sentences. It will help you to um, enriching your answer, and you'll get higher grades. And for that one, I would say if you're stuck with 22, 23, just go to any tutor. It's really important. Time is money. As I told you, I just wasted like 4 years of my life just working, and just I'm saying to myself, I still have 5 years. So 4 years is still okay. Anyway, I'm saying that go ask for help if you need, for whatever section you want. For section one, it will ask you about a question, and you have to answer in 45 seconds, and they will give you 15 seconds to prepare for your answer. So it's not easy. And you have to listen to different answers in order to get to know how can you answer. Some people would follow templates. You can do your own template, but the ETS would know that if you follow templates, they wouldn't get you good grade. So you have to get your own template or your own way of answering the question. For question one, I can see that they started to have like more complicated questions. Instead of just, do you want to go travel abroad or stay and chill in your house, they're tending to have more sentences, like little paragraphs. So it's really important for you to understand big chunks or little small chunks of words, and read it quickly to get the question and then answer. And it's really, and also important to answer the question, because sometimes it asks you, do you want to do this or that? So if you pick something, you have to address the full text or the full topic of the question. For question two, you will hear your first read passage about change happens in university, and it will have two reasons, and then you'll listen to part of a lecture or a part of a discussion between two students about the announcement or the proposal, and you have to answer and say what did they say. Is it I mean about the woman or the man in the conversation, are they in favor in the proposal or not? And basically you have to say whatever you have heard from the listening part, and also says you can say some of the reading part, but it's not that important compared to the listening part. So you have to practice and follow templates to know what are you going to say. So like according to the reading, the announcement is something, and the university plan says so and so, and for two reasons, and then a couple of students are discussing the content, and they then say the reasons that the woman or the man refutes or opposes this plan. Mostly it's not in favor. Usually the students would not feel okay about the proposal, so it's mostly the opposite direction of what is in the listening part, what is in the reading part. So they would oppose what's in the reading part. Third question, it will tell you about topic, and you have to read a few lines about specific topic, and the question would be the professor illustrates the concept of something. From the reading and the listening part, you have to listen to a lecture, and this lecture you listen to lecture that has examples, two examples or one detailed example. So you have to be prepared and take notes. And as I said in the listening part, it's really important to take notes and not try, you don't have to write everything because you don't have time, and you have to have a good handwriting because you will read your handwriting. So yeah, I had this problem before that my handwriting was not good, so I was not able to read my handwriting. So it's really important to write in the big words, and I mean the like big letters, and also don't be nervous. It's like so it will be hard to read whatever you have noted from the notes. Last question, it will be totally listening part, no reading part. You would read a question and then answer. I mean, you would listen to a conversation, to a lecture, and then say whatever was done in that conversation, and it will mostly either like two examples or one example about specific topic. And the problem with the whole speaking is that you get nervous, frustrated that uh, you have to read something and answer. So you don't have time to take your breath or do whatever. You would not have this luxury. And it's really important to train yourself that this will happen. So my advice is speaking questions or exam at least daily twice. Do it twice because 4 questions equals about 16 minutes, and you have to practice that a lot in order to speak in a good way, a way that the listener would understand what you are saying. Don't talk too fast. Maybe the irritator wouldn't get it. So yeah, it's really important to do that. There are 4 rubrics for the speaking part. One of them is the topic development. What else? Delivery. I can't remember other two. Anyway, so go to the ETS website and get the rubrics of the speaking part to understand what they are going to remark you or give you score according to the rubrics. Last section is the writing section. Writing is easy if you write a lot, and first you have to type fast on the keyboard, so you have to do it on a daily basis, at least once, because I used to write like this, and then now I'm writing like this, so this really helped me. And you'd know if you're doing mistakes, so there are websites like Grammarly will tell you about any mistakes. I want and I wish to tell you which template that I like, but still, it's really important to find the template that you would get it by yourself, because you'd add more vocabulary by yourself. So for me, I followed a specific tutor. If you need me to tell you who's that person, text me and I'll tell you. For the writing section, he was so helpful, and also for the speaking. And it's two, yeah. So writing is two questions. First question, you will read the topic that has like 3 or 4 paragraphs. The first one is introduction, and then 3 other paragraphs. And they will tell you about specific direction and like about story or about something. And the listening part would be totally the opposite. So they will tell you whatever it says in the reading is unconvincing, and they will tell you for each point something contradict each point in the reading. In the answer, you have to mention both sides, and for sure, it's more important to say the listening part. But at the same time, you have to say the reading, but in a shorter way. So, because it will be in front of you the whole exam. I mean, the whole 20 minutes of question one. So question one is 20 minutes. First, you have to read for 3 minutes the reading, and then they would start the counting for 20 minutes after the listening part, after you hear the listening part. So you have to take good notes for that. Usually you do like line and then 4 parts. The first part is just introduction. You'd say what did the reading says, and then reason 1, reason 2, reason 3. And for the listening part, that they would completely say the opposite, so you would get the idea from just reading the reading part of writing number 1. So when you hear it, when you listen it, you'll be okay to just write the notes and try to write it in a big letters. Okay, and you'll find a lot of templates about that. Some people tell you start with the lecture part and then write the reading, and try to add a lot of words like moreover, however, furthermore, like to increase your vocabulary. So I started like 70 grading. So the first score of the writing was 17, and then the one time 27, and the last one was 26, I guess. So it's something that manageable. You can do it. Just write a lot to get where's your mistakes. I used to write receive uh, like in an incorrect way, so I stopped writing receive. I had also like claim, so I used to forget how can I write claim, even claim. So I put it in my mind artificial intelligence, so AI. So claim is like AI, CLAIMS. So you have to get your own way, and it's like whatever emails you do, you know your mistakes, and then you stop doing them, or you're still doing, that's another issue. But I mean, where's your mistakes by just writing a lot, I mean, on a daily basis. So what I'm telling you or telling everybody, just practice every day, because if you uh, feel lazy about a day or two, it will get the whole week, and you just forget the whole thing. And language is like skill you have to build, so it takes time. And the last question and the writing section, which is the second question, you would read a topic or a conversation, and The question would be like, do you agree with this or that? And then you'd see two students are saying the two opposites or two different scenarios about the answer. So whatever you wanna do, if you wanna read these two people what they are saying, you can read them, or if you want to ignore it and just answer the question, you can do that. You have 10 minutes once you see the screen for question two. So if you want to read, if you want to take time, it will count it out of your 10 minutes. So I would say 2 minutes is enough. You can get the idea of the question one, but please read the question correctly, because some people would just take like part of the question and go right. So that would hurt your score, because if you don't answer the question correctly, you would lose a lot. So question two is not that hard. And as I said, you'll find a lot of templates about that. Just like gives you a strategy how to answer the question. Basically, it will tell you, say your position, is it similar to that person or that person? And say, what is your position? What do you agree about? And then you have to put an example, and then you have to illustrate what do you mean by that example. And really important to put like as a result or consequently, to wrap up everything you're saying. So vocabulary is also important in the writing, and your grammatical mistakes. If you have any spelling mistakes, that will count towards your answer. If you need any question regarding the TOEFL, I will be more than happy, because I stayed in that journey for a long time. I'm really relieved because it was really stressful for me. I got 26 once and 28 in speaking, but I didn't get that reading part. So you have to get the 4 sections, you have to pass them in order to pursue the license of the pharmacy, to be a pharmacist. So it was not easy, and thank God, as I told you, it came towards the end of my expiration of the FPGE. So thank God again. Thanks for all the tutors. I want to mention you. I used a lot. I asked for many of them. So if I says one, others would be not happy. So if you need any help about some specific tutor on a specific section, I will be more than happy to tell you who do I used their help. This is also ETS they have test day that's in the ETS website. It's for free. You can do practice, because a lot of people wouldn't know that. There is like daily question for free, like for every section. I used to practice the speaking one, and I get unlimited number of explanation. So they will tell you about the complexity of your grammar, vocabulary, speaking rate. So it's important to know your level before you go to the exam. If you don't have time, just take as much as possible of exams and ask for help from any tutor that you feel confident to ask. Because yeah, once happened to me that I asked tutor and he says, you seems like you don't need my help. So I was like, I need help. I know that I need help. So some tutors, I guess they are not confident that they would help you. So yeah, don't waste your time. Because time is money, as I told you, and surround yourself with positive people, because if you stayed with negative ones, maybe you wouldn't pass it, or you just forget the idea of passing the TOEFL. I wish I could help, and then this 30 minutes, and that's it. I wish you all good luck on the TOEFL. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Thanks. Bye bye.